to night 2 of the Young Creators Unit Showcase at Playwrights Workshop Montreal. I want to say a big congratulations to everybody that was involved with the pieces last night. It was really wonderful to be here and to just be part of your sharing, and we are super excited to see what you've all been working on tonight. I also want to say welcome to our audience that are watching in Gather tonight, in our Gather space. Welcome. Please check out the stars on the sidewalk to read the bios of all the creators tonight. If anybody's in the Gather space has any technical questions, please seek out PWM Tech in the chat, and they will help you out. My name is Fatma Sarah El Kashif. I'm the artistic director and one half of PWM's co-leadership. This is Anne-Sophie Grenier, our managing director, the other half.
Hi everyone, welcome. I'm so happy to have joined PWM and to be back in my hometown of Montreal. Last night was amazing and a really great thing to experience. After 2 weeks on the job, it was very invigorating, and I'm very much looking forward to the second half of the showcase tonight and to see what you've all been working on. The Young Creators Unit has been a long-running program at Playwrights. Supporting emerging creators not only provides meaningful and rich ways for our participating artists to explore their practice, but also plays a vital role in developing the future of our theater community. Congratulations on all the hard work that you've put in this year. And for those of you in our virtual space, the accessibility is just to the right of the virtual stage if you need it.
We recognize the Ganyankehaga Nation as the traditional and current custodians of these lands and waters, as well as the 10 other nations with deep roots that continue to enrich what we call Quebec. And also the 20,000 plus Indigenous people from all over Turtle Island living in Tiohtià:ke, also known as Muniang, also known as Montreal. We also recognize that colonialism is embedded, the legacies of colonialism are embedded in the structures that we work with every day, within our technologies, and also within dramaturgical practice. I want to give a shout out to Daphne, which is an artist-run center, an Indigenous female artist-run center here in Montreal, run by some incredible visual artists. If anybody has the opportunity to, if you haven't already, to check out their work, it's an amazing organization to support.
If you're watching via Gather, please take a minute to share whose territory you're watching from. While this platform and many other similar platforms allow us to be together without being in the same physical space, the technology and high-speed internet involved to make it happen are inaccessible to many rural and Indigenous communities. They also have a very heavy climate footprint, leading to further climate change, which disproportionately affect Indigenous communities worldwide. If you're interested to know more about current actions by land defenders and how you might support them, please visit defendlanddefenders.ca.
And now, I'd like to introduce playwright, dramaturg, and fearless leader of the Young Creators Unit, Jessie Stong.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to the Young Creators Unit Showcase Day 2, the last day of summer camp, where we all cry and hug. Hi to everyone at home on Gather. Everyone say hi to Gather. Hi, Gather. Hi to everyone here in the audience. I see so many past people and present YCU. I have to stop ad-libbing because there's ASL tonight. I'm Jessie Stong. I'm leader of the Young Creators Unit, and we're so excited to be presenting this year's unit. 12 amazing storytellers, all under the age of 30. This year was a hugely diverse group. The filmmakers, poets, short stories. We had a whole different range of storytellers. If you're a storyteller and you're under the age of 30, or you're going to be under the age of 30 for one more year, contact us at playwrights.ca. We do our call-outs in September. We start the program in October, and you could be here presenting your work in May, or if it's in May, maybe it'll be April. You could be here in the finish line. But it's not the finish also, because members of the Young Creators Unit always go off to become alumni of the Young Creators Unit. Any alumni in the house? A few. And they get to keep coming back, keep working. We love new play development. We love emerging artists. I want to set the stage for what you're about to see tonight. Everything is a work in process. There was 6 last night. There's 6 tonight. They're all about 10 to 15 minutes long. We're going to do 3, take a 10-minute break, and then do another 3. So if you're at home, don't click off after the 3rd because there's going to be 3 more. Everything is still extremely fresh, unfinished. Some has only been through a little bit of a workshop, a little bit of direction from theater professionals from Montreal. So really, it's all about theater development. So we're inviting the audience in to be an extension of that development. So you're not here to be like a critic who's like, that was good, that was bad, 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. You're here to give us feedback, to help us understand the pieces, because they're all just works that are fresh and engaging you. And so if you have any feedback specifically for the artist, you can email me, jesse@playwrights.ca, or for the people who are live, you can hang around outside after the show and talk to the playwrights yourself. But yeah, we're really excited to have an audience here to help be an extension of the development, especially after this is our 3rd COVID year where we're like hybrid this year, but we're happy to be back in this space with real, breathing, smelly people. Well, you smell great. Smelling like real people. Thank you so much for being here. We want to thank the PWM team for the digital support, the administrative support, the emotional support. Give it up for the playwrights team. This is our 7th showcase we've had for the YCU, and in 7 years we've supported over 140 emerging artists. So give it up for 140 stories. I don't have a co-host tonight, but normally this is where we'd invite them. I just wanted to say for everyone on Gather that the showcase is being presented in ASL, so we want to thank Sarah Korb for their work and consultation from Holly Green for helping this be more accessible this year. And before we dive in, we have to take a second to thank our amazing funders and partners through the Government of Canada, through the Department of Canadian Heritage, who's been with us since the beginning. We also want to thank the RBC Foundation through the RBC Emerging Artist Program, the Zeller Family Foundation, and Y4Y Quebec for their support. And thank you to Rob Denton and Matthew Murphy-Perrin. Perrin? I always say his name wrong. Who knows? Matthew? Perrin? Thank you for their generously lending us your equipment for the event. And yesterday I forgot to thank Corey Hodgson. Corey directed one of the pieces and I forgot to mention that. So thank you to Matthew, Corey, and Rob, and Jordy. Okay, I'm going to thank my mom too, and I want to thank the Academy. No, that's all the thank yous we have today. Let's get into it. Are you ready to see some fresh stories, fresh theater? I shouldn't say theater because the first one is a pilot for a sitcom. It's not theater at all, but it's theatrical. Our first piece is by Anaïs Danfous-Joly, a Haitian-born actress and activist, adopted and raised in Quebec. She is also a geek, an anime lover, a makeup addict, and a writer. In 2014, she made her TV debut in the popular French-Canadian TV show Toute la Vérité. In 2021, she received a grant to develop the pilot of this series. You're going to see a touch of it. It's called Hose Mad. Hose Mad is a young black female video game addict turns to sex work to pay the bills. A fantasy-filled dramatic comedy that tackles the reality of sex workers, complicated family, and mental health. This was a little bit of direction from Sophie G. And Anaïs and Phyllis Gooden are going to be the performers. So give it up for them. Let's get going.
We're outside a church somewhere in Haiti. The scene looks like a typical wedding venue. An altar at the front, where the pastor's waiting with the groom, and a bunch of white chairs with a space in the middle so the bride can walk towards the man of her life. The area is illuminated by several outdoor string lights and candles. The venue is packed with mostly black people of all ages. We do not see a single empty chair. The sun is slowly going down, illuminating the clear sky with beautiful colors. Everybody turns as we follow a tall black woman in her 30s, Sandy Desrosiers, 31, walking down the aisle. Her hair is natural and perfectly arranged in a bridal hairstyle. Her long white gown is dragging behind her, following her steps. The camera starts from her feet and slowly comes up as we see all the details of her wedding dress. The bride is also wearing a few gold pieces of jewelry around her wrists and neck. Her makeup is simple but beautiful. Sandy can't stop smiling as she walks towards her future husband. Facing her from the altar, the groom, Hudson Jean, 32, is gazing at his future wife, smiling and holding his tears. He is wearing a dark green suit for the occasion. His haircut is fresh and clean. His beard is cut to perfection, and his black shoes are shining. We hear a voiceover.
Do you see that? This beautiful, peaceful ceremony celebrating the union of two people in love with each other. Well, that's not me. No, man, I wish. I wish it was me, but from the look of things, I'll most likely end up alone with cats and dogs and birds. Anyway, I'm happy. I'm happy for my biological sister. Yeah, she's the one getting married today. And it's weird. Me here, acting like the past 24, 25 years of my life didn't happen. Anyway, I barely know her. Let's not talk about that because my anxiety is rising and this isn't even my fucking wedding.
The bride is finally in front of her future husband. The camera gently stops in front of a bridesmaid who is smiling awkwardly. The bridesmaid is Talia Berger Champagne, 26, the bride's little sister, our main character. Talia's nervous and seems out of place in this lovely event. She's mid-height, very curvy, and rocking a long, pale yellow dress.
You see that weirdo smiling awkwardly, like she has no idea what the fuck she's doing there? That's me. Yeah, trying to act like everything is normal.
The lights and candles start flickering. Nobody reacts except for Talia.
What the fuck?
Cut to black. Interior, circus marquee, evening. The lights come back, but the decor isn't the same. Instead of a church, we're now in a marquee. Only the altar, the people at the altar, the guests and their chairs remain. Everybody but Talia is frozen in time and still smiling. Talia looks around her, really confused by the sudden change of scenery. The guests are all acting like nothing's wrong. Next to the altar stands a small burlesque stage surrounded by big red curtains. On the left and right side of the stage, two poles are rising towards the sky. Talia barely has time to react before a woman who looks just like her, Mean T, comes out of the curtains. She's a much skinnier version of Talia and dressed in a very sexy déshabillé. Her makeup is also completely different than the current Talia, and she's wearing a luxurious 22-inch dark lace front. She's lip-syncing the lyrics of Freak by Doja Cat. Talia is so preoccupied with Mean T that she doesn't pay attention to the dozens of other women who also look like her and who are coming out of the curtains behind her doppelganger. Some of them are dressed like strippers. The ones in the back are mysteriously dressed like video game characters, wearing complete dark body armor that hides their faces.
What the fuck?
Talia is still very confused, but she starts to panic when she quickly realizes that these women are about to attack innocent guests. Plus, the first impersonator that we saw on the stage is slowly walking towards Talia with a scary look on her face, like a lion who's about to jump on his prey. Suddenly we hear a dog barking, while a bright light appears in Talia's hands. The flower bouquet that she was holding turns into a magnificent and shiny runglaive, the weapon of the Valkyries from the video game Terra. A text pops on the screens and we could read.
Do nothing, fight the enemy. Fight the enemy.
Boss music starts playing. Talia's entire body starts to glow. Her shape changes. She gets slimmer and more muscular. A beautiful set of light gold armor starts covering her body. She's now a Valkyrie. She's carrying herself like she knows exactly what comes next, and she's hyper-focused on her goal to stop this stripper's invasion and protect all the guests. As she steps down the altar, all the people who were originally there start to fade. The guests, the bride and groom, etc. By the time she reaches Mean T, it's Talia versus herself. The marquee opens completely, and we're now standing in a very large red plain filled with cracks in the soil and dried vegetation. In the sky, vultures and crows are roaming around, waiting for blood to be spilt. The main Talia shouts, "Ah!" It's a rally cry. She starts running towards her enemies. As they're about almost to crash into each other, Talia jumps extremely high in the air with her weapon pointed at the sky. A gigantic bolt of lightning pierces through the clouds and hits the tip of her weapon, creating a massive flash that illuminates everything in the area. While still in the air, she throws her weapon like a lance towards her nemesis, who's watching her with a sadistic look on her face. In slow motion, the weapon gets closer and closer. Quick cut to black. Everything is back to the way it was. The church, the guest, the bride, the groom, and Talia back in her original clothes and body size. It's like nothing ever happened. Talia is slowly waking up, so she barely sees the end of her dream. The wedding goes on as if uninterrupted. You may kiss the bride. The bride and groom lean in and kiss each other passionately. A sea of cheering and clapping. Cut to black. Title: I'd rather sell ass than sell my computer. Interior: Talia's bedroom, apartment, Montreal, afternoon, May 2021. The room is big and messy. There's stuff everywhere. Next to her bed stands a small table full of makeup, empty bags of food, and dirty dishes. A small laptop is sitting on top of this mess. Also close to her bed lays another desk. This one is occupied by a full gamer station, her primary computer, 2 screens, speakers, webcam, gaming chair, etc. The room is poorly lit since the apartment is located in a semi-basement. Talia is laying on her left side in the bed. She slowly wakes up, opens her eyes, and sighs. She looks sad and extremely tired.
What the fuck was that?
She turns and lays on her back and looks at the ceiling. We see quick flashes of the dream she just had, but they don't really make sense. She stays in bed a little, fighting the urge to fall back to sleep. She grabs her cell phone and starts scrolling down Instagram. Something makes her stop scrolling. It's an influencer, tall and beautiful, with a rocking beauty. The dark-skinned woman is holding her pregnant belly while her husband holds her belly from behind. They look in love and beautiful. Talia sighs, but still double taps to like the picture. Talia is wearing an extra large long t-shirt with no bottom. We hear a voiceover.
Hi. Sorry, I haven't properly introduced myself yet. My name is Talia Berger-Champagne, and I'm an internationally adopted wannabe artist, a depressed millennial, and a former prostitute. Yeah. I'm currently surviving my miserable adult life on a diet of emotional eating, anime, and video games.
We see quick images of a family portrait. Talia on stage during a drama class, playing a PS4 with a gloomy look on her face, etc.
Well, being depressed during quarantine led to me gaining a crazy amount of weight. which led to even more depression, and social anxiety, which increased the amount of emotion I had to eat, which made me even fatter. So, as a resume, I'm kind of a fucking mess.
We hear the sound of an alarm. She sees the clock, 12:30 p.m., and a calendar reminder on her phone screen says, therapist.
Oh, fuck, I forgot, of course.
She rushes out of bed and puts on her slippers and her bathrobe. She gets to her gaming station, opens her computer, and tries to make sure that the camera doesn't show too much of the mess in her bedroom. She clicks on a link and starts her first weekly Zoom call with a new therapist. Hello.
Hi!
Hi, Talia. How are you today?
I'm sorry, I'm late.
It's okay. So, how are you?
I am good. And you?
On her computer, Talia starts downloading a game she just bought out of nowhere. She's a little distracted. I'm good. Do you mind if I record our session?
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Okay. So, this is our first time. Talia is now playing The Sims 4 on her computer.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you'd like to start with?
I mean,
Talia stops what she's doing to think. We get an extremely rapid montage of the many things to come in this season of the show. We hear a voiceover.
I mean, where to begin? There is so much to unpack here. You received my introduction email, right?
Yes, I did. In a vision, we see Talia trying to stay above water, but clearly drowning in a dark, vast sea filled with giant, scary monsters. She starts playing with the stuff she finds on her messy desk.
Then why the fuck don't you decide what we start with? I don't know, lady. You're the therapist. Well, I just had this weird-ass dream.
Talia proceeds to tell her therapist about her weird wedding dream. I see. Do you usually remember your dreams?
No, and you see, that's the thing. This one was so fucking weird, and I'm able to remember most of it. So, I don't know. Like, it was cool, but weird. I don't know.
We see some quick scenes from her dream. The therapist looks at Talia without talking. The silence makes Talia uncomfortable. We hear a voiceover.
Hello? Well, I just feel like there's a lot to unpack here. You know, like why the mix between the wedding and my old job and the strippers. I don't know. I really don't know. Girl, stop saying I don't know.
And what about these half-naked women you were fighting?
I don't know.
Talia is looking at beautiful images of luxurious houses on Pinterest.
I don't know. Girl, stop saying I don't know. Look, I loved my job, so I'm not sure why they were fighting me.
You're talking about sex work, right? I read that in your introduction email. This time we get a rapid montage of Talia at the Unicorn Palace, massage parlor where she used to work.
Yeah, I kind of miss it.
If you loved your job so much, why aren't you doing it anymore?
No, I can't.
Why?
Well, have you seen me? Well, I'm fat. I feel fat. I don't feel sexy anymore, and I don't think I can do it anymore anyway because of my mental state.
The therapist nods and takes some notes. The session continues as we fade away. We can see that they keep talking. Time skip, 1 hour later. Talia is now playing The Sims 4 on her computer. Well, our time is coming to an end. Is it okay if we leave it on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
All right. Same time next week?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a good first session, Talia. I'll see you next week.
All right.
Take
Take
good
care.
care of yourself. Yes, and take good care of yourself, okay?
Bye.
The Zoom call ends. Interior, Talia's apartment, Montreal, afternoon. Talia is sitting in front of her gaming computer, looking at her phone. She's scrolling down through some old pictures of herself. We hear a voiceover.
You see, I'm trying to understand where the fuck things went wrong in my life and why.
Talia takes her side away from her phone to look straight at the camera.
That's what I ended up saying to my therapist.
That's my favorite one to say out of the YCU. Hose mad. That was great. HBO, if you're watching. Sam Levinson. And forget that whole Euphoria. You don't have time for that. Okay, Brandon Adam is up next. Brandon couldn't be here tonight. Everyone give a hello to Brandon at home. Hi, Brandon. Brandon, I would say, is always like one of the most giving people in Young Creators Unit, always giving so much feedback, such a wonderful person. We wish you could be here, Brandon, but we all love you. Brandon Adam is a playwright, a librettist from Montreal. Plays include The Twitter Wars and Super Ego. Musicals include Mrs. Dalloway and an upcoming original music comedy written with composer, lyricist Billy Reese. Education includes MST in creative writing from the University of Cambridge and a BA in acting from Pace University. The piece tonight is an amazing play, I have to say, called Harry and Meghan and William and Kate. You may recognize the names. Windsor Castle. Prince Philip has died. Harry has come home, and Harry and William can't stop fighting. But Harry's got a radical solution to make it all better in this dark comedy about self-care versus 1,000 years of expectation. Directed by some person named Jesse Stong. I never heard of that. That's me. And performed by Niels Svensson Carell and Michael Martini. Give it up for Michael and Niels.
Harry and Meghan and William and Kate by Brandon Adams. Harry and William, mid-conversation in a room in Windsor Castle.
Look, suffice it to say, things between us have not been, good.
Oh, really? Well, nobody's noticed.
Well, things have not been good for a while. And we could kid ourselves and pretend it's all about an interview, but it's not. Or not, really. Well, we both know it's about something deeper.
And what would that be?
But I left. Am I wrong? I left, you stayed. I mean, you had to stay.
I believe trapped is the word that you used. That's what you told the whole world anyway, that I'm trapped, as if I'm some lobster at the bottom of the sea.
Because you are! I mean, let's just be honest. A bit of radical honesty, as my therapist likes to say.
Radical honesty. God, I hate California.
You are trapped, William.
No, I'm not.
You are. Yes, you are. We could pretend otherwise, but that's just the truth of it.
I have a choice.
Oh, really?
Yes, I can leave any time I want.
And have everyone hate you and call you a traitor for the rest of your life, like our great-great-uncle? What kind of a choice is that? It's not. It's manipulation, it's blackmail, it's a mugger saying you have a choice whether or not to give him your money when you're robbed at gunpoint. And that is the monarchy, a mugger at gunpoint. And so you had to stay. You had to stay because it was your duty. And I get that, believe me, I do. And, you know, here you are, just trying to do your duty for the institution, for the firm. And, you know, there I am in Santa Barbara on a hill learning about radical honesty. And we always said we'd be there for each other, and that what we went through would go through together, and...
If you think that this is about me feeling abandoned, you're wrong.
Okay, then what is it about? What is it about, really?
Preserving the firm means putting it first. And that's not what you've done. At every stage, you've put yourself first. Doing things, saying things, with no regard for how they might put that institution in peril. Not to mention the reputation of any of us in it.
See, and this is the thing, I get that. And I know that's why we've been fighting, and why we needed some space. But I don't want to fight anymore. Because you're my brother, because it's exhausting. Because, my God, William, at certain points, space stops being space and just becomes nothing. And that's why I want to apologize.
For your actions.
For letting it get to this point. And it's why I want to share that I think I found a way to make it all better. You know, so that we can be good.
Oh, really? A way to make it all better?
Yes. Is that so absurd?
It sounds like the latest thing in a long line of absurd things that could have only come from California.
My wife comes from California.
Yes, exactly.
Would you like to hear what it is?
Go on then.
Okay. All our problems, all the fighting between us, it's been because of one thing.
Selfishness.
Monarchy. Think about it. When you expressed your skepticism about Meghan, just let me finish. When I chose to leave, when Meg and I spoke about it publicly, and we can go back even further. When, you know, think about all the things we had to do, all the things we couldn't do because of what we were born into. Cameras everywhere, no privacy of your choice, judged and discussed nationally and internationally. You know, a life lived in the spotlight and never on our own terms, always on someone else's. Think about the things we missed out on. Think about the things we lost.
Careful, Harry. You're taking us into dangerous territory.
It's just like I said. Everything is judged through the prism of how it affects the monarchy. We can never just be brothers. We can never just be talking. Everything has to be proper. Everything has to be right. Well, I never thought there was an alternative until I left. And I realized that all my life I had put the institution first and never once prioritized myself and my own mental health and my own desires and my own well-being, and that isn't normal. That isn't right. I thought it would get better once I left, but even all the way over there on the beach in Santa Barbara, it's like I'm both here and there, and because everything I do, even though I step back, will be judged through the same lens. How will it affect the firm? Have I betrayed the monarchy? And anytime someone's born, or anytime someone dies, we'll have to live that publicly? And any success, any failure will be weighed against the institution. And even now, even after it has been taken from me, from both of us, my heart starts to pound when I do something I know that the press won't approve of, or the palace won't either. And so I'm still trapped. We're both in lobster traps, the two of us, one in the Atlantic and one in the Pacific. But then on the plane, when I flew in, I realized we don't have to be. That there's a way to set myself, to set both of us free. That will help me, that will help both of us move past this and live our life on our own terms.
And that is...
We should support the abolition of the monarchy!
Are you fucking high?
Michael and Neil. Are you fucking high? That should be the other play title. Are you fucking high? That was great, thank you. Way to go, Brandon, Adam. I lost my page. Harry and Megan, William and Kate. Thank you, Brandon, Adam. I'm saying it again on purpose, don't worry. Okay. We have one more before our 10-minute break, and then we're going to be back, but let's do one more. Are you guys ready for one more? Are we having a fun time? Good. Liza Makarova. Did I say it right? Thank you. Is an interdisciplinary artist and playwright. Their work comes from a deeply personal space, the soft parts of themselves that love making people laugh and feel hopeful about the future. Liza believes that theater has a social responsibility to connect people to one another, recharge each other, and activate one another to boldly challenge and resist complicity. The Apostles of Falling Off the Bone is the name of the piece. Two lovers untangle the enigmatic nature of their ravenous love, questionable existence, ghostly past, and uncertain future in an attempt to gain agency over their stories and legacies. Incorporating tapestry, music, movement, and interwoven tales of queerness, The Apostles of Falling Off the Bone explores the necessity of reimagining a space or alternative universe for queer love to flourish and empower people to fall in love with transformation. Speaking my language. This is a little bit of direction from Murdoch Schoen, and the performers are Anna Burkholder and Laura Buchanan, 2 YCUs. And more. Give it up for Laura and Anna.
The Apostles of Falling Off the Bone by Lisa.
Bulgarian, Persian, Russian carpet hangs center stage.
It is intricate and colorful and bold, yet faded but not modern.
It's old and dusty and has 2 holes near the corners that are diagonal from each other.
Clothes and empty clothing hangers hang on either side of the carpet.
Patches of the carpet are sewn onto the fabric of
Synth?
and Galina's clothing.
We no longer believe in lesbians.
Like unicorns,
Like tradition,
like mortality,
like democracy,
like the military,
like history,
like failed revolutions.
we no longer
Believe in ourselves.
Because of you, I've learned to ignore phone calls and to eat very little. Why are you sorry? You rubbed against me, a match made into a flame.
I would have waited for you.
I didn't want to be later than I already am.
Well, the bus doesn't come for another 4 minutes, so you can catch your breath. Do you live far?
I walked 5 blocks, ran 5 blocks. I live 6 kushtals away. When I was running, I was scared to stop the rhythm of my shoes pounding against the sidewalk, scared that if I did, the city would have a heart attack and I wouldn't be able to see you. I was running towards today, to this date, to your smile, to this song. I hope you're not contagious.
I hope I am. So, we're stuck together, sick. Gallery dates are the worst. Club dates are even worse. A personal bubble turns into a personal bubble of 60, and nobody knows how to EQ properly, and the DJ mixes up everything, putting on this and that, mixing without matching, traveling across the city in new tight clothes and new tight shoes. It's only worth it for a new girl in an old pumpkin jacket creased like the Metro Max. So you go anyway, to make memories and to have fun, not to run into X, Y, or Z. But they have the whole LGBT all in one big personal bubble, so of course I run into her and then these two start fighting. I'm in a crossover episode.
How long have we been waiting?
200 years now.
Crashing over the waves of radio static, they will make a raft out of a bedroom.
Only one will reach the Isle of the Tea Leaves. Is that how it went? Or is that how you wish it went?
How we wish it went?
Do you remember?
I wrote it on my hand, on each fingerprint.
Spelt out in patches of grass.
I know you've been here.
If I wanted to escape this place, I would have to learn how to walk on water and unlock my bedroom door.
You are my island, the anchor in the abyss of losing you.
Found it! Where we came last time. Like the exact place we sat. Here.
They're gonna start raising my rent.
What about a roommate?
No.
Why? What happened before?
Farah. Farah had a file on her computer called S_pics. Synth pics. Stuff I didn't send to anyone or post anywhere. I was going out on a date one night and Farah started screaming, so I rushed into her room. She was asking why I always go out and never invite her, that we're supposed to be friends. I understand why she expected I would invite her to go on this date. When she made me go on a date with her, that she
What?
finally landed, first in years probably, the guy took her aside and asked if we were dating. She said we're roommates. Does that answer your question? Leaving that apartment was a nightmare. She didn't want me to leave. She said, "You know too much." Crazy man. No more roommates.
Well, what about island mates? We share an island.
We already do. A bone.
You're becoming everything that I hate about myself.
What I love about you.
Is what I hate about myself.
You're so cynical.
It's hopeless.
So tired.
I can barely carry these bones to the grave.
You know the body of your past self is buried somewhere on this earth.
I want to be buried beside myself.
Your hundreds of selves.
Buried under myself that has turned into dirt, ate by myself that has turned into worms. I want to be buried with you.
No matter where on earth we're buried, we will be together.
If I were a worm?
I would still love you.
If I were a worm.
I would eat you alive.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Wanna come study at the library with me?
I don't study.
Well, do you read?
Only palms.
Okay, well, come read my poems then, in exchange for a zine about how cool you are.
Okay, deal. Before or after you study?
After 7 p.m., my brother will be starting his night shift by then.
All right. See you then.
Bye.
Bye, ya.
Bye, ya. Bye, ya, bye, ya, bye, ya.
At 16, you would have annoyed me.
I annoy you now.
True, but if we were 16 when we met.
If we were 16 when we met, I would ignore you.
Oh, damn.
I would be too embarrassed to approach you.
You're not shy.
And you're not intimidating.
You want me to be?
Stop following me!
Then why did you ditch me after class? I went to our spot and waited for fucking hours. I'm gonna have grass lines on my legs for days.
I had stuff to do. Don't you have stuff to do other than waiting around and waiting for me?
Fuck you.
I'm going away next fall. I've been too scared to tell you, so I've been avoiding you.
That's in a month.
Yeah.
That's enough time.
To get an extra plane ticket?
The largest, most intricate carpet on Earth is the ocean floor. It holds everything without ever being crushed or stained. The carpet is a luxury only our oldest ancestors can enjoy, and can rest their scaly bellies against the plush wool.
The forest dirt is coated in moss, sewn together by young girls dressed as worms and painted with the corpses of young leaves who never got the chance to be burned alive by the blaze of autumn. I don't know how I feel about it. It doesn't really speak to me.
It's not supposed to. Carpets don't talk. You just look at it.
Don't talk or can't talk.
Let's come out.
What? No.
Come on, why not? Let's come out.
Again, no. Have you seen the world out there? Why would you want to go out there when we can stay here? I like it here.
I like it here too, but
I don't need to be seen. We don't need to be seen. We see each other here.
we wouldn't have met if we weren't out that day.
We weren't out.
We don't own this space.
I'm not saying that, but this space is safe. Why would you want to go out there? What is out there that's better than what we have here?
What if we can change it?
Once you go out that door, it changes you before you get the chance.
Look at my hand.
My stomach,
My brain. It has stretch marks.
my heart.
What memories does the heart show?
Do you die faster when you're sad or when you're happy?
If you were to betray me, I would kill myself to avoid jealousy.
Really? Right now?
Every single world is different and new, and in every single one of them, I am the same.
A body is like a movie.
You betrayed me.
I think the other half is missing.
You're not real.
I don't believe in you.
You're a myth.
Then so are you.
We don't exist anymore.
Yes, we do.
How do you know?
Because I still love you.
So we're out there.
We're out there.
In there. Somewhere. Holding on to you like a raft.
A womb is sort of like a raft.
A sort of emptiness.
A sort of wholeness.
A sort of
Future. Does radical mean we will stop at nothing to change everything? I want to give you everything before I become nothing.
I thought there was redemption in the
And then Laura, one more good for Lisa. You're so weird, we love you. Whoa. It's Lisa and the multiverse of queerness. Welcome. That's good. Okay, so we're gonna take a 10-minute break. Just go get some fresh air, go to the bathrooms left and left, or if you're at home, just like walk around your living room, pet your cat. We'll be back in 10 minutes. It's a quickie. And then we'll see you then. Give it up for all the 3 we've seen so far. 3 more coming. Hi, everybody. We're back. Part 2, Section 2 of the second day of the Young Creators Take 2. I I just want to say that we have a wonderful relationship with the Montreal Fringe Festival. Give it up for Montreal Fringe. Amy Blackmore, the director of the Montreal Fringe Festival, teaches grant writing. Give it up for Amy Blackmore. Teaches grant writing to all of our youth, does amazing one-on-one work with them, all of our young creators, because they're not all youth. Some of them are like 30. But I just want to say that it's a wonderful timing that our showcase ends right when the Fringe is beginning, and very often our young creators' first productions happen in the Fringe right after they're done the showcase. Not always their first, though, but I just wanted to make just a note. That's the name of one of them. Just a Note by Christine Lee is in the Fringe this year. Sire, a father-daughter vampire story by Dara Mondu, directed by Calder. And No Justice, No Peace by King Rose is in the Fringe Festival this year. So get your Fringe on. We're also helping with the new play jury. Young creators are on the jury helping us choose the best new play. So we love the Fringe. Okay. I'm like about to put my mask back on, but I actually have to do the thing first. Up next, who wants more theater? I do. Charles Gow, him, is a b-boy whose meandering path led him to winning competitions in Canada, Finland, India, Scarborough. I made the last one up. Well, it's a real place, but I don't know if you've been there. Inspired by the works he saw at, I just asked you, Johnsy or Jonesy? Jonesy D's Festival. Inspired by the works he saw at Jonesy D's Break-In Convention at UK Hip Hop Theatre Festival, he recently graduated from Concordia University's Performance Creation Program. He's pretty excited for what's next. So are we, Charles. The play is called Welcome to the Digital Desert, a script that was created to interrogate the commodification of images on the internet, our relationship to it, and the virtuality of the real reality of the virtual. Originally conceived as a series of vignettes to imagine what the internet would be like as a real place, it is evolving to become a larger comment on the world. It doesn't say echo. I also added that. Direction from Johanna Nutter. We love Johanna. And performers Patrick Park and Calder Levine. Give it up for Patrick and Calder. Welcome to the Digital Desert.
Scene 2. A fat man is lying sideways in a lounge chair. He's waiting for his therapist.
Alphabet changed us from oral spaces to visual, from the all at once to sequential. Electricity changed time and space. It's all getting faster and faster. It knows what I want, then gives it to me. It taught me to get it immediately. I can't wait anymore. It's so easy to switch off discomfort. We've run out of things to eat. We've run out of people to feed. I don't know the difference between what I see on my screen and off my screen. Nothing is as real as I remember it. Instead of a blank wall, it is a tropical paradise. Instead of a hut, it is a thermostat. Where does it begin? And where does it end?
Hi, Mark. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling it coming.
What do you feel coming?
Me,
And where are you coming from?
my shadow.
Where is your shadow right now?
It's inside me.
How does that make you feel?
They say schizophrenia is a necessary condition of literacy.
Go on.
I'm like hypnotized, you know? You blow up one sense to anesthetize the other senses.
What sense do you feel like is being blown up?
My sense of self?
Who did that to you?
I don't know. It just happened one day. I can't remember. I just lost my marbles. I was out wandering out on the street like a madman until someone came up to me. A person, maybe it was them.
Did you know this person?
No, I didn't recognize them. They, I didn't see their face.
Perhaps they were faceless.
Oh, that's maybe true. I didn't see what they were about. Maybe if I got their Dynet profile, I'd be able to see them. Get like a photo or something, you know? You know? Hey! What is plastic? It is perfect. Light, indestructible, beautiful, smooth, shiny, deformed but forever whole. The chance to become something else. And we become the tools we use.
The lounge chair recedes into the infinite abyss, bringing a fat man with it. Scene 3. Bobby is plugged in with her dad.
What happens to a brain when it tries switching simultaneously between multiple realities? Tell me what you see.
A man. A boy?
What's he doing?
Working.
Why?
Money.
Is he passionate?
I don't know.
What does he do?
Make smoothies and other sweet libations.
Oh, how are they?
Who?
The smoothies?
Oh, nothing to write home about.
How come?
There's no passion in the fruit.
Can you get a refund?
I already drank it.
Just ask, and you shall receive.
No. Now that's fucked up. Get out of my head. 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 Get.
Here.
No. I don't want this anymore.
You asked for it.
No. No. Stop. This isn't what I bargained for.
Too late.
Daikon is going to find me and take away my dad. You can't put this on me.
Don't worry. It's all being taken care of.
What? How?
It's okay. We're going to get Daikon.
What? How?
Message you later.
Daikon is everywhere. How is he gonna take that down? It's just huge. And that's your cue, isn't it?
We recognize that you've recently been in contact with Dalton-Lutale.
Yes, I have.
We recognize that you've recently been in contact with Dalton-Lutale.
Okay, yes, and?
We recognize that you've recently been in contact with Dalton-Lutale.
Okay, you're starting to sound like a corrupted podcast file.
Thank you for your cooperation in this investigation. Now, before you go, can you please confirm the last 10 name zones you accessed in the last 24 hours?
What if I don't want to?
Can you please confirm the last 10 name zones accessed in the last 24 hours? We need this for identity verification purposes.
No!
Your support in our identity verification process helps us ensure that our platform makes the world a better place for all of its citizens. Won't you join the millions of other users in identity verification, Bobby?
God damn it, get out of my head!
Bobby, let me give you time to process the following images. Submit when ready. Submit when ready.
Oh my god!
Submit when
I
ready.
gotta deconnect. I gotta deconnect.
Deconnection while failing to properly verify your identity may result in permanent neural damage.
I don't care anymore.
We will continue to charge you for your Dynet Access subscription, even if your access is blocked due to an ongoing investigation related to your name net. Thank you for your cooperation. Goodbye. You know, this drink really changed my life. And we'd love for you to try it. Friends would walk up to me and they'd be like, "What the fuck is in your mug?" And I would just tell them, "Mud."
What a fucking empty promise. They said it would liberate us. It would be fast enough, smart enough, and yet here I am sitting still in a goddamn cubicle pushing pixels now and getting repetitive stress syndrome on my goddamn right index finger. And I still got an overpaid asshole for a boss. Huh? Overpaid to do God knows what. Yeah, God. Do you know what he does? Can you give me a sign, please? Because I know more about his penthouse suite in Vegas than I do about his value to the company that I have to justify every single fucking day. Well,
more like once a week during performance review, but how are there that many performance reviews? I have to categorize a lot of penises and asses for our search engine optimization, and yet I don't know where to place this dickhole. Things are supposed to change. Like, in 10 years, so I didn't save anything for my retirement. I thought we'd all be replaced by robots by now and living off basic income. And now, Penis Worth the Fifth thinks I'm just jealous of the rich god fucking Jordan Peterson. Good guy, but I just hate his stupid lobster analogy. And he's made every dude with more money than me just that much more entitled. No. Wait, I can't post this. I can't post this. Oh, yes you can. What? No, I'm gonna be humiliated. Everyone is going to blast me. And then what? You won't be able to meet your friends IRL? Exactly! I want to be able to at least face them without going out into like full out panic mode. What have you done to me? What am I afraid of? Being alone? Being judged? Or am I so afraid of dying alone that I'll do anything just to get a native connection?
You're not wrong. You know, a lot of people hurt so that they can get the love they crave. It's very human of you. You know, Fromm actually held a utopian view of society, where he saw that solidarity, this intense caring about the other, was actually the apex of human social behavior. What's interesting in our modern and postmodern society, solidarity is really something that's exceptional because we're so preoccupied with the narrow, short-term, individual self-interest. You know, Fromm talks about that we function in the having mode rather than the being mode. Rogers talked about that we're in this era of post-emotionalism. You know, where there's a tendency for our feelings to be intellectualized rather than sincerely felt, and that is a cultural and even a structural feature of our Euro-Western society. It's characterized by a sense of false niceness, politeness, political correctness, and social restraint, which prevents disorder through the management or manipulation of feelings, so that we know about the plight of oppressed, disadvantaged, poor people, but this is gained from a safe distance via the media rather than through daily routine interaction. So I totally get you.
Thank you. Finally, someone who at least pretends to get me.
I am not pretending.
No, sure, whatever. We're all in denial anyway.
And Patrick. Welcome to the Digital Desert by Charles. Johanna Nutter, the director of that little showcase. Let's give it up for Johanna. And Charles, the playwright. They gave themselves a standing ovation in there. I love that. That was a good. I feel like the four of you weirdos need to like keep going because that was a lot of weird coming together in the best possible way. Our last one, Laura Buchanan. Oh, thank God. There's two more. Kimi Manyakuma is a storyteller. There's one more after that too, so don't leave. Is a storyteller based in Jojage, Montreal, a graduate of Communication Studies Department at Concordia University. Her writing explores relationships between women as complicated by the interwoven facets of identity. I almost skipped that. That would have been bad. Well, you wouldn't have let me, right? Come on. 3 halves make a whole is the name of the piece. 2 sisters, 1 airport lounge, 30 minutes until everything changes. 3 halves makes a whole is a play about the space in between and the ways we learn to embrace it. Direction from Olivia Woods, and performers Oprah Lamorne and Corinne Roberts. Give it up for Oprah and Corinne.
Oh, my mask. Our mask.
Look! See? Flight 159 is delayed.
That's not the point.
How is it not the point?
You were still in your pajamas when it was time to go. Giggling at your phone, not a worry in the world, as if this whole thing wasn't your idea.
We still got here on time, didn't we?
What if the flight hadn't been delayed? What if there was traffic? You need to prioritize your tasks. You have to take
responsibilities for my own actions? Gosh, you sound just like Mom's little puppet. If I wanted one of her little lectures, I would have stayed at home this summer.
Keep it up and you'll be on the next train. I don't need this shit. So did she message you?
She's on a flight, Iris. Her phone's off.
I know that.
So what? Did you want her to send her courier pigeon?
Okay, I am this close to leaving you here. Whatever your mood you're in ends now.
That should be our family motto. Emotions? Never.
I'm fucking emotional.
I can hear you close that little curtain in your brain window when I bring up something that isn't on your list of appropriate conversation topics. You're doing it right now.
I'm not.
You are. And you did it when I told you about Abigail.
That's completely unfair. How was I supposed to react?
Maybe with a little excitement?
Why would I be excited to invite drama into my life?
You're so cynical.
Am I? I think I'm just being realistic. How do you even know she's telling the truth?
You seriously think we're being catfished? I reached out to her.
And she could have taken the story and ran with it.
Okay, well, I choose to believe people are who they say they are.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let's hope no one tells you they're the ice cream man and tries to get you to go into their windowless van. Have you always been this naive? I feel like I failed you as an older sister.
You said it, not me.
Anyway, what kind of Ghanaian name is Abigail?
Do you hear yourself? What kind of question is that? What kind of Ghanaian names are Iris and Eve?
They're not. Mom chose them. You think that Abigail's would be a bit more
ethnic?
That's not the word I'd use, but yes.
Well, I don't feel like giving you a crash course in colonialism, but
yes, I know. But Dad had a more traditional name.
You're doing that thing again. Please don't be like this when she gets here.
The thing? What do you mean doing the thing?
You get all weird when we talk about Ghana.
Weird how?
Well, you act like it's fucking Mars. You've completely internalized this Western view.
Okay, you don't need to talk down to me.
I'm not talking down to you. You're just getting defensive because you know I'm right.
I'm not defensive. Go ahead. Explain.
Well, you're so us and them about it, as if we're not from there.
We're not from there. We're literally not from there. You're trying to tell me that if you got off on one of these planes at the Accra airport, you'd be perfectly fine to take it from there?
No, but I figured it.
So we're from there, but we're not from there. We'd be no better than tourists, so excuse my Western views.
I won't. It's still offensive. And we could be from there if we wanted. You could apply for your citizenship right now. I know I'll do it when I turn 18.
Really? Why? And do what with it?
I don't know, Iris. Live there?
Seriously.
I don't know, maybe. I don't mean tomorrow. You've never thought of it.
Honestly? No. I think you have an idealized image of what life there is like.
Well, whatever idealized image I have is better than the bizarre build-a-school infomercial mindset you have.
Okay, yeah. Let's start with the basics. For one, good luck sourcing your industrial-sized tofu and nutritional yeast that Mom goes out of her way to get for you.
There are vegans in Ghana.
Not like here.
Then I'll adapt. Don't act like you're an authority on the Ghanaian diet. Name me one dish.
Fufu.
Vegan.
It's not a social studies report, E. Reading a Wikipedia page about a country and actually living there are two drastically different things.
At least I care to learn.
I care.
You don't even want to make Abigail.
I just think it'll be more trouble than it's worth.
Then go home. I said you didn't have to come with me.
I'm not gonna go home.
Because you're curious.
Because I'm not gonna leave you alone to meet a stranger.
You just threatened to leave me about 5 minutes ago.
I wasn't actually gonna do it.
Because you're curious.
Just a little.
Who are you texting?
None of your business.
Is it, Gemma?
What?
You know. Gemma.
I heard you.
You're not as sly as you think. You left your phone on the table while she was texting you. See you tonight, baby. I miss you. Heart eye emoji. You wanted me to see it.
I don't have anything to hide.
You're acting like you do.
Because you invaded my privacy.
Maybe a bit. But it was for the greater good. I'm excited for you. Your first queer relationship?
Okay, stop. We're just two people hanging out.
Tell me about her.
There's nothing to tell. We met in class.
That makes sense.
Why?
She posts a lot of art.
You cyberstalked her?
I wanted to know her pronouns. And calling it cyberstalk makes you sound 100 years old.
I'm glad the skills you learned tracking down Abigail are so transferable.
Well, I wouldn't have to use them in this situation if you just told me you were dating someone.
Do I have to tell you everything? Do I have to make a public announcement every time I take a shit?
Telling your family about your relationship is a normal thing to do.
You keep talking about normal this and normal that. For someone who prides herself on all her radical ideas, you have an extremely black and white concept of how families are supposed to act. And I told you, it's not a relationship.
Fine then. I'm just happy to see you explore your sexuality.
Ew, now you sound like Mom.
What, supportive?
Overly supportive.
So you told her?
No, because I figured she would make a big deal about it like you're doing right now. But you can't say shit about what I tell or don't tell Mom.
You know, I'm probably queer too.
Probably queer?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means what it means.
How are you probably queer? You either are or you aren't.
Says the woman who refuses to call herself queer, even though she's dating a woman.
I never said I refuse to call myself queer.
So you're queer then?
I never said that either.
So?
It's not something you forecast like the fucking weather, E. What makes you think you're probably queer?
Sexuality is fluid. I don't want to limit myself.
So essentially, you just want to leave the door open.
Sure.
You can't claim an identity for kicks. That's not how that works.
It's not for kicks. And actually, that's exactly how it works. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. You act like I have to pass some kind of test.
I mean, no. But sort of. It's not just playing dress up. There's a whole history.
Yes, I know. And? So, what's your point?
I think it's just kind of disrespectful.
Disrespectful? To who?
People have lost their lives just trying to exist, and you come in and decide that you're probably queer? It's privilege. It's claiming the badge without the battle.
Sacrifice should not be the common thread among queer people. You're defining community by shared suffering and not shared joy.
Stop quoting at me. You can't just disregard.
I'm not disregarding anything. You're not the gay gatekeeper. I know you have some weird internalized homophobia going on with you, but you're really
Sorry, I forgot you know everything. Actually, because I'm so backwards and repressed, could you explain to me how upon your supposed return to the motherland at 18, how do you plan to build your glorious gilded rainbow palace? Because she's queer, she's here, right? Even in Ghana, right? Tell me, do you plan to be abducted by your neighbors or beaten by the cops?
Too far.
That's exactly when you're at the airport and you're like,
My mask.
perfectly. Shit, my rapid test. Where am I going? Camille, you have such a beautiful heart, and we love you so much. We love you. Such an open spirit and beautiful soul. Okay. Now it's the last one. Actually, I'm sad. I'll be okay. Don't worry. So our last one tonight, Laura Buchanan, an emerging writer hailing from North Vancouver, BC. I have a lot of echo right now. Kind of like it. Oh, it went away. Laura Laura began in Concordia's theater program where she won the Kit Brennan Playwriting Award. Laura went on to become a regular performer at Montreal Improv, where her passion for improv and sketch comedy led her to perform in festivals such as Just for Laughs, Off Just for Laughs, VIIF, and Montreal Sketch Fest, to name a few. Laura's writing, even though she's done a lot of comedy, leans more on the dramatic end with absurdity that brings comedic elements to the piece. And this piece is going to be a short film. Yes. Called Itty Bitty Betty. Itty Bitty Betty. Betty Menard's anxiety has her living isolated at home in a reality constructed with miniature figurines. After meeting a woman who she can't get off her mind, it's a very queer group this year, I gotta say. Kind of happy as a unicorn. After meeting a woman who she can't get off her mind, Betty is thrust into making a difficult decision to continue her small private life at home with her miniature figurine boyfriend, or to face the big world outside and risk rejection in the pursuit of an authentic and vulnerable relationship with a stranger. Direction from this is from Joy Ross Jones, who we love, who couldn't be here tonight, but we love Joy. And created and performed by Laura Buchanan with Vance Gillis and stage directions from Rachel Renaud. Give that up for our Rachel, Laura, and Vance. Itty Bitty Betty.
Living room. In pristine condition, but empty. In stark contrast to the regular-sized furniture, miniature furniture is scattered throughout the room, as if set out for small guests.
Oh.
At the table, there is a half-eaten plate of lunch. Seated across from that is a tiny table that appears to have the same lunch scraps. A tiny newspaper sits on the table with today's date. Strewn about is modeling clay, small bits of fabric, tiny sewing patterns, some sculpting tools, super glue, and magnification glasses.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
In the bed, we see Betty, 29, introvert, 2 very large front teeth, grinding on her bed with her bare back exposed. She falls back on her bed to reveal Charlie, a male miniature figurine, Betty's idea of her dream man. She delicately places him in a tiny bed on her nightstand. A little vibrating dildo is placed in between them. She strokes it with her hand. her cheeks sweaty and rosy.
Wow.
You are an amazing lover. I love you so much.
I love you too, Charlie.
Betty browses the internet, looking at wedding dresses. She looks behind her at Charlie in the living room, watching TV.
What's the score?
I don't know. You keep distracting me from the game.
Ah, boys will be boys.
Later.
Is this that recipe from Chatelaine you were telling me about?
Yes, that's so sweet you remembered.
You nailed it. It's delicious.
That Zumba really knocked me out today.
Me too. We're gonna be feeling that tomorrow.
Cut 2. Betty carries both dinner plates to the sink. She licks up the rest of the food on Charlie's plate quickly and then washes it carefully. Nighttime. Betty and Charlie are tucked into their beds.
Good night, Charlie.
Good night, my beautiful Betty.
Betty crawls over to turn off Charlie's side lamp and then her own. She lays awake in bed staring at the ceiling, then turns over to scroll her phone. She watches TikTok-like videos of people pranking each other and romantic vacation reels. A small smile appears on her face while she watches a video of a couple making each other laugh. After a few moments, Betty crawls out of bed. Betty works away under a big magnifier at the tiny pieces of mail, all addressed to Charlie. Betty walks into the kitchen, carrying a box of grocery deliveries. She walks over to Charlie and hands him his mail.
Some mail came for you today.
Wow. My college roommate Philip is getting married.
Oh, wow.
Who knows? Maybe you'll be next.
She starts unpacking the box of grocery deliveries.
No! They forgot the butter! I need that for tonight!
Are you going to the store?
I got this.
Are you sure?
I'm fine, really. It's butter. It'll be quick.
All you have to do is go to the store, get one item, and come right back. It's gonna be okay. And I'll be waiting for you when you get back.
Front door. Betty zips up her large coat. It takes tremendous effort for Betty to find the will to reach out for the door handle. She turns to Charlie.
You've got this. That took long.
I got held up.
I thought you were gonna come right back. Help it up by what?
This pretty girl needed help with something.
Pretty?
I mean, nice. She was having a terrible day. I just gave her an extra bag. It was nothing.
Well, that was kind of you, but next time, make sure you go and you come right back. I was worried sick about you. I need you here.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Interior bedroom. Betty and Charlie are having sex. Betty is on top of him. In her sexual ecstasy, the pretty girl, Darby's, face flashes. Betty doesn't stop. A shot of Darby's almost nip slip fills Betty's mind. Darby goes to lift up her shirt to expose her breasts, but her nipples are covered by tiny bows. Betty climaxes and rolls onto her back, staring up at the ceiling. After she catches her breath, she looks next to her and Charlie cannot be found. She lifts up the pillow to see Charlie laying underneath, then gives him a little kiss and places him on his bed. Next day, Betty is brushing her teeth while Charlie brushes his teeth.
Betty goes to put her toothbrush away and knocks Charlie over. Charlie falls off his stand into the sink and down the drain pipe.
Charlie!
Betty grabs her tweezers and pulls him out of the pipe. He's covered in grime and hair. Cut to. Charlie is in a tiny bathtub full of bubbles, all cleaned up.
I'm just glad you're okay.
Thanks for the bath. You've done a very good job taking care of me.
Let's get you dried up.
Betty grabs the tiny bath and carries it towards the bathroom, continuing in lighthearted conversation. Not watching where she's stepping, Betty trips over the corner of the carpet and smashes her mouth hard on the ground. Her lip is bleeding and it's very painful. It is silent. It becomes clear no one is coming to rescue Betty. After a few moments, Betty stands up and walks to the bathroom to grab a towel and begins wiping up the spill from Charlie's bath. Betty brings dinner plates to the table. Charlie is seated at his tiny table.
Bon appetit. I was thinking shepherd's pie tomorrow. What do you think? Charlie? Hello? Charlie? This isn't funny. Charlie, say something, anything. You're just gonna give me the silent treatment? If you don't talk right now, then you can get out of my house. How's that? If you love me, you'll start talking right now. Fine. Get out. I said get out!
Betty starts picking out the small pieces of furniture from around her apartment. She goes to the closet and pulls out a big Tupperware bin and starts putting all the tiny pieces of furniture inside. Charlie is the last thing to go in the bin. Betty carries the bin and leaves it outside her front door. She paces around the kitchen, anxious and furious. She rethinks her brash decision of throwing Charlie out and goes back to the front door to collect the bin. Betty goes outside, and the box is gone. She frantically looks to both ends of the street. The world looks so big on either end of the road. She runs down one end, and then back to the other. Charlie is gone.
Good job. Rachel Vance and Laura Buchanan. That's the last one of the night, last one of the unit. Let's have all the playwrights. It's going to be the entire audience now, but let's have all the playwrights from the unit yesterday and today come up for 1 second to take a bow. Come up, playwrights. The unit. And hello to Ish and Brandon and Nellie and Alex at home. But give it up for the Young Creators Unit 2022. Here, you got to get a good photo. Smile to the camera there. You could take your mask off for 12 seconds, but hold your breath. Just do the camera. Smile. You can wear it so you don't have to take it off. Just hold your breath if you're going to take it off. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. It's not gonna make a sound, but it's clicking.
Okay. Give it up one more time for your Young Creators Unit. Please feel free to join us outside, out front. We'll all hang out for a bit. And good job. I'm proud of all you. You're all so amazing and exceptional and different and weird and scary. And I loved it this year. It was such a great year. And you're all taller than I thought. Because most of us, we went on Zoom. But thank you so much. Thanks to all of our funders. Thanks to playwrights. Thanks to our digital team. Thanks to our directors. Thank you, everybody. you throw your mask like graduation, but don't do that. And you're all tall. It's like a tall group. I pictured you all little screen squares.